I was shocked. I mean, just for a university to come out like that and immediately accept responsibility, legal responsibility, and I'm not sure exactly what that entails, but it's remarkable because I think so often with college sports, when there are scandals or problems, and we've certainly seen our fair share of them lately, they close ranks. They worry about the program first, protecting the coaches, protecting the staffers. This is not what's happening here. This is the college saying, we care about the victim. Now, the next step, after saying we care about the victim and his needs come first, the family's needs come first, what happened here, right? Because it's not just one bad apple. Heather Dinich did an amazing story in which she reported on the culture of Maryland, and that culture is very clearly tied to what happened. We don't know how tied, but it's incumbent upon the university to figure that out next, to not say the story ends here, we got rid of one bad apple, it's over. No, this is a much bigger story. They seem willing to figure that out, but I think that's the next step in this entire saga.
How about you, Jalen? What do you think?
First and foremost, a young man lost his life playing the game that he loves, and condolences and prayers to the family of Jordan McNair. I agree with you. It's unique in collegiate sports to actually see adults accept responsibility for something that happened to one of their student athletes. And I was just writing down the number of scandals that we've covered here lately. Penn State, Baylor, Louisville, Michigan State, Ohio State. None of those scenarios actually did what we saw the Maryland leadership actually do. Come to a camera, acknowledge what happened, make sure that they said that it wouldn't happen again under their watch, and they took ownership. And so I applaud Maryland for how they handled it under these really tough circumstances.
I understand that. And yes, I agree that considering we were where we were, or he was where he was yesterday, I agree that the president said all of the right things and as much as he could under the circumstances. I do find myself, and maybe this is the parent in me who is a year away from sending my daughter off to college, thinking there's a little bit of a day late and a dollar short here, isn't there? Where were you when this was all going on? Who knew that this was the culture? Heather Dinich found out about it afterwards because someone in the program died. So where was the president of the university with whom the buck stops on all things when these kids were being treated this way, when this culture was being created, when it was obviously an open secret that these were the rules of the program? Because so many people were willing to talk about it and were willing to talk about it beforehand, but no one wanted to listen. So it should not require the death of a 19-year-old kid in order for someone to ask questions about the culture at the football program. So while I will agree that considering we were where we were yesterday, I commend the reaction from the university president. And I get that he can't do anything that will undo what has been done. But if I'm the family of that kid, that's not enough for me. That's not bringing my son back. That's not bringing my nephew back, and you're going to hear from the uncle in a minute here. I would be asking questions like, why did someone have to die for you to be worried about the culture of the football program? Why do we live in a world where that culture seems normal to some people? That playing football, playing as Jalen just described it, a game that people love, will normalize what is quite obviously, in some cases, not all, I am in no way painting with a broad brush here, but in some cases, completely abnormal and obviously dangerous behavior and practices. So those feel to me like the questions I'd be asking if I were the parent or the family member or anyone, candidly. I'm just sitting here and I'm asking those questions. Why did someone have to die for us to be paying attention to what was going on in the building where the football is handled?